Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here on the Parker Love Sports YouTube channel. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to spend them here with me. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going over my top 10 safeties in the 2024 NFL Draft class. Now, this is the daily series that I've been doing where I'm going through each position group, minus punters, kickers, and long snappers, but we started with quarterbacks, then we went to running backs, then receivers, interior offensive linemen, offensive tackles, interior defensive linemen, edge rushers, linebackers. Yesterday was corners, and today is safeties. This is the final positional rankings group. Tomorrow will be my top 20 players in the draft, and then we're going to move on to my two final mock drafts, and then we're going to pretty much be at the draft by that point. But yeah, I just got to say, I'm not a big fan of this safety class. You know, the Broncos might pick up a safety, but I would prefer probably not. You know, a lot of these guys are more raw and they need time to develop. So I would personally prefer passing on safeties this year. I don't like the value of where these guys are projected. We'll see, though. This is the top 10 safety video. I do think this is a pretty weak safety class in my opinion. But yes, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into it. Now, a few housekeeping notes before we actually get into it. So I kind of teased you there, but the first thing is I do my own scouting, but I also read and watch a lot of other content. So this is a mixture of my scouting and some other notes and things that I've seen. I want to be a full-time scout and independent one day, but I'm not at that level yet. So I do read and look for some other stuff too, help out with these evaluations. The second thing is I put stats on the screen because they're pretty easy to do graphic wise, but you shouldn't just judge a player based on their stats because stats can lie, stats can be deceiving, and so they can be deceiving. So you don't want to don't want to solely go based off of stats. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump in to the top 10 safeties in the 2024 NFL Draft. But as always, I just want to remind you that Jesus is King, and I just pray that you give your life to him as he has got a plan and a purpose for you. And I just truly hope that you will accept Jesus with your whole heart and believe that he died on the cross for your sins. Believe that he lived a sin-free life, sacrificed himself, died on the cross, and then rose from the dead 3 days later. If you truly believe that, then you'll go to heaven. It's that simple and it's that easy. It's not by our works that get us to heaven. It's solely through our faith in Jesus and his sacrifice on the cross. It's not through our works. A lot of people think it's how many times we go to church or read the Bible or do good works. And while those things are good and we should want to do those things, it's solely through Jesus who saves us. Now, a lot of people won't like that I'm sharing this message, but, I don't care because personally, it's important to me. And so I'm going to continue to spread the message to as many people as possible. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to spread the message at the beginning of every single one of my videos. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into my top 10 safeties in the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, my number 10 safety this year is going to be Dadrian Taylor-Demerson. But before I get into Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, I just want to say that on draft day, Thursday, April 25th, I will be going live. I'll be going live about a half an hour before the draft, and I'm going to be live throughout the whole first round of the NFL Draft. And then I will also be live the following day on Saturday, the 26th. We're going to be live streaming all of rounds 2 and 3. And then same thing on Saturday, we're going to be live streaming rounds 4 through 7. We're going to be live streaming every single day of the NFL Draft. So if you do want to come and hang out here, make sure you go ahead and join the stream. But yeah, I was going to mention something else, but I kind of forgot. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get into my safety rankings. At number 10, we have Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, and he's the safety out of Texas Tech. Now, he is a smaller safety at 5'10", 197 pounds, but he has great instincts and ball skills. He also has the versatility to play as a free safety or in the nickel as a slot cornerback. He's a very versatile scheme fit and doesn't just have to go to this one scheme to succeed. He can succeed in multiple different schemes. He also has great athleticism and speed. He ran a 4.41 40-yard dash. He had a 38-inch vertical and a 10-foot 3-inch broad jump. He's a high IQ football player. He's able to make pre and post snap adjustments to put him in the best position possible to succeed. Now, during his career with the Texas Tech Red Raiders, he played in 26 games. He had 107 solo tackles, 40 assist tackles. He had 147 total tackles. He had 13 passes defended and 7 interceptions. Honestly, I know I said I don't want the Broncos to take a safety, but the value of Taylor Demerson, if we were able to get him in, honestly, I'd take him in the 6th round. I don't think he's going to be available in the 6th round. I think he's going to go a lot higher than that. I'm just going to pass on every safety this year if I'm the Broncos. But, I also trust Sean Payton, so we'll see what Sean Payton says and what he thinks of a safety, because obviously I'm an amateur and I'm on my couch at home. But moving on to my number 9 safety, this is going to be Bo Braid out of Maryland. And I remembered what I was going to say earlier, and I just ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as the support is greatly appreciated. I'm trying to do this as a career one day, so if you could help me reach my goal by doing that, that would mean the absolute world to me. And now, with that being said, let's get back into my number 9 safety in Bo Braid. I actually am kind of a Bo Braid fan. I don't think he would be the worst pick. I think if the Broncos had to target one guy on my top 10 list here, I think it would be Bo Braid. You wouldn't have to take him super early, in my opinion. I think he would be like a 5th round pick. And I like the upside that Bo Braid brings to the table. But again, I do think there's other major positions of need. We got PJ Locke, Brandon Johnson. But this isn't a Broncos video. This isn't a Broncos video. We can talk about this later. I am a Broncos fan, but yeah, we can talk about this later in a Broncos dedicated video. But Bo Braid can play up high as a safety, or he can also play in the box as a box safety. When he's in coverage, he plays the ball and not the receiver, which you love to see. A lot of times people chase receivers down, but Bo Braid will play the ball and make a play when the ball gets thrown to the receiver. He's able to break downhill quickly and support in the run game and help out in the run game. He's a decent size. He's about he is 6 feet tall, 203 pounds, and he has 31-inch arms. And because of his long arms, he's got great length to him and a large reach. Now, he won't be an instant impact player right away. He'll be a solid special teamer, someone who you can throw on, kick coverage, punt coverage. He's going to wrap up a lot of tackles, and he'll be a productive special teamer while he develops to be a safety that you can eventually start in the league, hopefully. Now, during his career with the Maryland Terrapins, he played in 34 games. He had 115 solo tackles, 62 assist tackles, 177 total tackles. He had 11 passes defended and 3 interceptions. Now, moving on to my number 8 safety, this is going to be Tyke Smith out of Georgia. Smith was a transfer from West Virginia. I believe he played his first 2 seasons with the West Virginia Mountaineers before transferring to the Georgia Bulldogs, where he has played for the past 3 seasons. Now, Tyke Smith has a small and compact build at 5'10", 202 pounds. He has 31 5/8 inch arms, and he plays with a ton of physicality. Now, he struggles in deep coverage, and he can get beat by taller receivers with his smaller size at 5'10", but he has good speed, burst, and athleticism to help support in the run game. He ran a 4.46 40-yard dash, had a 36-inch vertical, and a 10-foot 0-inch broad jump, so just a 10-foot broad jump, and he had a ton of production at the University of Georgia and at West Virginia. And during his career with the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Georgia Bulldogs, Smith played in 51 games, recording 140 solo tackles, 72 assist tackles, 212 total tackles. He had 12 passes defended and 8 interceptions. Now, moving on to my number 7 my number 7 safety. I'm sorry if I've been saying receiver. I feel like I've been saying receiver a decent amount, but my number 7 safety, it is going to be Sione Vaki out of Utah, originally committed to the Oklahoma State Cowboys, transferred, and started these past 2 seasons with the Utah Utes. Now, Vaki stands at 5'11", 210 pounds. He has 29 and 1/8 inch arms, and he's decently athletic, running a 4.6 240-yard dash with a 39.5-inch vertical and a 10-foot 5-inch broad jump. He's also sneaky strong as he benched 20 reps at 225 at the NFL Combine. Now, Vaki has a nose for the football and is going to be involved in stopping the run. He's going to be involved in stopping the run, and he provides elite run support from the safety position. Vaki is also a great open field tackler. If he needs to go and stop the run, he's not going to get juked out and he's not going to get faked out by the runners. He is going to be able to make a play in the open field. Now, the biggest thing about Vaki is he is a very raw player. He's not going to be an instant impact player. He will be a solid special teamer who you can hopefully develop in the long haul, but he's got a lot of upside, but I think he also has a pretty low floor in my opinion. Now, during his career with the Utah Utes, Vaki played in 26 games, recording 71 solo tackles, 21 assist tackles, 92 total tackles. He had 5 passes defended and 1 interception in his career. Now, moving on to my number 6 safety. This is going to be Jaden Hicks out of Washington State. Now, Hicks has great size for the safety position at 6'2", 211 pounds, and he has 31.5-inch arms, but he didn't run at the combine, which is disappointing, and I saw online that a lot of people wanted him to run and to see his speed at the combine because there are some questions about his top-end speed and his change of direction. So because he didn't run at the combine, it was a little bit disappointing, and from some of the insiders, they said they were disappointed about Hicks not running at the combine. Now, Hicks has a quick burst to close on the receiver and to make a play on the ball. He takes great angles when breaking on the football to make a play, which leads to impact plays and deflecting the ball, getting interceptions, etc., etc. Now, he does have that slower change of direction, like I mentioned, which it would have been nice to see him test at the combine. So it does suck. That might affect his draft stock, but yeah, we will have to see where Jaden Hicks goes in this year's draft. During his career with the Washington State Cougars, he played in 25 games, recording 94 solo tackles, 61 assist tackles, and 155 total tackles, with 10 passes defended and 3 interceptions. Moving on into my top 5, and my number 5 safety is going to be another Utah safety, and Cole Bishop. Now, Bishop is solid in zone coverage, but does need some work in man coverage. He had great production during his 3 years at the University of Utah. He's also a good size, and he packages that with a good frame and good athleticism. He's 6'2", 206 pounds. He has 29 3/4 inch arms. He ran a 4.45 40-yard dash with a 39-inch vertical and a 10-foot 4-inch broad jump. Now, Bishop can play up high or in the box as a safety, and he never gives up on a play. He does have that high motor, and he will make a full effort to make the play, even if it is across the field. Now, he also makes an impact on the play as a great run defender, and he makes an impact on the run defense, and he will help out in run support. And I would say he's also solid on just making a play in, obviously, the passing game and the running game, like I mentioned. If it's defending a pass, getting an interception, or stopping the runner in his tracks so he doesn't pick up chunk yardage, Bishop is kind of this do-it-all safety who has some high upside. Now, during his career with the Utah Utes, Bishop played in 36 games with 117 solo tackles, 80 assist tackles, had 197 total tackles. He had 12 passes defended and 3 interceptions in his career. Now, moving on to my number 4 safety. This is going to be another Georgia safety in Javon Bullard out of, obviously, Georgia. I kind of mentioned that, so that's kind of redundant. It's not kind of redundant. It is redundant. Now, Bullard has the versatility to play up top as a safety or in the nickel as a slot cornerback. Bullard is a very intelligent player who plays with a high football IQ. He's able to read the receiver and quickly react before making a play and breaking on the football. He isn't afraid to help out in stopping the run and playing in the run game. He's going to make a hit and he's going to tackle, make sure the running backs don't pick up these chunk yardage and get behind him as a safety. Now, he isn't elite, or sorry, he is elite in man coverage. He's elite in man coverage. He's really, really good in man coverage, and he's great in zone coverage. Bullard is about 5'10" and a half, 198 pounds, with 30 and 3/4 inch arms, and he ran a 4.47 40-yard dash. So he does have some athleticism to him. Maybe a little bit on the shorter side at 5'10" and a half, but his athleticism, his intelligence, his coverage skills, and his ability to play in the run game, he could potentially even be the top safety in this class, and I'm just undervaluing him. I think Bullard has the potential to be the top safety, but of course, only time will tell. During his career with the Georgia Bulldogs, Bullard played in 32 games, recording 80 solo tackles, 34 assist tackles, 114 total tackles. He had 8 passes defended and 4 interceptions. Moving on to my number 3 safety, this is going to be Kalen Bullock out of USC. Now, Bullock stands at 6'2", 188 pounds, and he has 32.5-inch arms, and he ran a 4.48 40-yard dash at the combine. Now, Bullock has quick and fast feet with the ability to cover a ton of ground, and he can defend against pretty much any receiver. Now, he's a great coverage safety who is solid in both man and zone coverage, and he has great ball skills by using his length, where he's able to make a play on the ball by knocking it away or picking it off. But the biggest area of his game that needs improvement is to help and support in the run game. Obviously, as a safety, you want them to be a coverage first guy. At least most people want them to be a coverage first guy and then help out in the run game. So his coverage skills are fine, but does need a little bit of boost and improvement in his run support. Again, I think that Bullock could easily be the top safety in this class. I think my top 4 guys, which you just saw, Javon Bullard, Kalen Bullock, you guys probably know the top 2 in Cameron Kinchens and Tyler Nubin. They all could be the number 1 safety, and it was tough for me. You know, I could even think by draft day, Kalen Bullock is the best safety in this class, but for now, he is my number 3 safety. And in 38 games played, Bullock had 96 solo tackles, 55 assist tackles, 151 total tackles. He had 15 passes defended and 9 interceptions during his career with the USC Trojans. Moving on to my number 2 safety, this is going to be Cameron Kinchens out of Miami. Now, Kinchens is a little bit smaller at 5'11", 203 pounds. He has 31 1/4 inch arms, and he ran a 4.65 40-yard dash, which is a little bit slower for the safety position. But Kinchens is a smart and tough football player, being able to diagnose the offensive play and read what's happening and react and get into position to make a play. And the other thing you like about him is he was very durable. He didn't miss many games while he was in college. He also baits the quarterback to throw, kind of backing off, maybe playing a little bit looser than the quarterback expects, baits a throw, and then is able to jump in front, break on the football, and then make a play. He's a reliable tackler. He's a reliable tackler who makes an impact in stopping the run as well. Going to help out and support in the run game. And for me, with how the Broncos have been recently, and I know this isn't a Broncos video, I really want as much help as a run supporter as I can. As a safety, I do want that help in the run support if the Broncos are looking there. Again, I don't know if I really want the Broncos to take any safety in this year's class, but we'll see. Again, not a Broncos video. I'm rambling. But then moving on to his coverage skills, Kinchens' coverage skills, they're lacking a little bit, and they do need improvement in the NFL. However, he did have solid production at the University of Miami, playing in 33 games, recording 99 solo tackles, 63 assist tackles, 162 total tackles. He had 15 passes defended and 11 interceptions during his career with the Hurricanes. And moving on to my number 1 safety, this is going to be none other than Tyler Nubin out of the University of Minnesota. Now, Nubin is 6'1", 199 pounds, and has 32-inch arms, which is a decent size for a safety. Now, he uses his size and length to be a rangy defender up at the top, and he's able to play sideline to sideline and make a play. He's not going to be limited. He will play across the whole football field to make a play. He's a very instinctual player who's easily able to track the ball, or who tracks the ball in the air very well, and then he makes a play on the ball, whether that's knocking it away, making it an interception, tackling the receiver, whatever it is, he's going to make a play on the ball. Great at tracking it, and he's going to know where it's going, and he knows where it's going to be going. Now, in the open field as a tackler, he is decent. He's a decent open field tackler. Not that great in run supporting, so does need to improve on that. He's solid in both man and zone coverages. Great coverage guy. Not the fastest or athletic guy, as I would say Nubin wins more with his technique, his instincts, and his intelligence rather than athleticism. He's a decent athlete, but he's not the most athletic guy back there. So he's going to use that intelligence and his technique to get in position to put himself in the best position to succeed rather than just being a pure athlete, which, isn't a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I would like to see him maybe be a little bit more athletic, and I would have liked that. But it's not a bad thing to rely on technique and intelligence to succeed. I don't think that's horrible. Just can be a little bit scary if you got a speedster and you need Nubin to cover that speedster deep on the field. But, that is just my opinion. During his career with the University of Minnesota, Nubin played in 48 games, recording 143 solo tackles, 64 assist tackles, 207 total tackles. He defended 11 passes and had 13 interceptions. But that is my these are my top 10 safeties in the 2024 NFL Draft. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and that support helps out a lot as I'm trying to do this as a career one day. Now, tomorrow's video is going to be my top 20 players in the 2024 NFL Draft, so get ready. After that, we're going to be doing my final Denver Broncos mock draft. Then it is going to be my final full first-round mock draft, and my really only one this year. I've been lacking these past few years on the full first-round mock drafts. And then the day of the draft, I'm going to be releasing a video of the top 5 scenarios that I want for the Denver Broncos, or that I want the Denver Broncos to do or happen for the Broncos, whatever. And I'm going to release that the morning of the draft. So, yeah, lots to come. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. My name is Parker, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.